Angela here. I'm going to talk about my adventure to Kennesaw Mountains on Thanksgiving Day. And so I chose Kennesaw because my son was recently deployed. Um, and this is his first, of course, Thanksgiving being away like that, and me being without him. So, I thought, hey, instead of celebrating Thanksgiving the traditional way, why not celebrate it in honor of my son? Um, Kennesaw, was like where so many soldiers were killed in battle. So so many years ago, and not nothing like today, but still, I felt that walking on the grounds of where other soldiers have fallen on Thanksgiving, um, and being thankful for him, you amongst other things, but for that particular day, like that's why I did the job. So, in saying that, I went up there, and when I first pulled in the parking lot, and like there's a lot of people in the parking lot, so I'm like, ugh, COVID, it's scary. But and then I look up at the mountain, and it's like it kind of looked like a hill, and I'm like, ugh, ugh, like this is not going to be challenging at all. But okay. Well, prior to going, you can go different directions. You can go just up the mountain, which is what most people do who just want to like tour it, I guess. They just climb or walk up it, and it's at the top you see monuments and memorials and things like that and cannons, and then you just go back down. Now, granted, the climb up to the top of that it's not like crazy easy, but because it's pretty steep, so it'll get the breath out of you a little bit. But I had chosen to go the like 11-mile hike, which went further, of course. Yeah, well, 11 miles walking, piece of cake. Don't know when I will learn my lesson because it wasn't this one either. The next one that I did, I'll have a video on that one too. I guess I didn't learn my lesson then either, so I don't know when I'm going to start learning. Maybe in 2021. I'm not sure. So I go up, walk up the mountain. Good, a few people there, like a good bit, I guess. Considering, and so at the top there's another like a trail that goes over on the other side of that mountain, and that's it, you go walk down that side. Um, and that was not too bad. Then you get down to the bottom, and there's like a road crossing there. So the people that I was seeing was less and less people, of course, as I got down to the bottom. And those people, I don't know where they went, but when I got to the road, there was no one there except there was of course, the road, and there was a man. Wish I had taken a picture, but that probably would have been kind of rude or weird. Man sitting on the bench with his dog, playing the guitar, like a bluesy type song. It was beautiful, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so nice, and he's cool. So I'm like, walk across the road, and I don't want to give him money, but like, I didn't have no money on me. I didn't know if he was there for money, and that can be offensive if you just say, "Oh, there's your money," and they're like, "I'm just out here enjoying the mountains. Like, what do you think I'm what?" So, and I go down the stairs, that like little stairs, and get back on the trail. Now is the moment where I decided to get my whistle and mace out. Um, really hoping I had saw a turkey out there. Believe it or not, people have seen turkeys. So there are turkeys there. As far as bears, I don't think so, but I just like saying that now every time I go hiking because it's cool. So, and I really want to see a bear. It's not up close. But I really wanted to see a turkey. Like, how cool that would have been to be hiking on Thanksgiving and you see a turkey. It's like, and you don't kill it. Like, you just pet it or chase it down to pet it or talk to it or something. I really wanted to see a turkey. But anyway, so I keep going down the trail and there's not hardly anyone out. I think I passed like two people at that particular moment. And it's not really like difficult. Like you have your ups and downs and stuff like that. Then you get to a point where you're having to kind of more on like a ridge line of the mountain and more ups and downs. Like there's, I guess, more like steeper ascents and descents. And that, I guess, started wearing my legs down. Like I could feel it at that point because, but pressed on. I saw actually maybe on that particular section, maybe like five people. So I did see a few people there. So either way, get to another crossroad and cross that, continued on. Um, then I had to turn like right at this, like the lake or like, well, it was like a little creek that went into like a little pond lake. Um, and then when you take that right, it's off into the woods. And in that section, I didn't see anyone. No, I take that back. There was a dude just sitting. But anyways, that was a killer. For some reason, I felt like that thing went on forever. And in my video, that was the section that I started talking. I was out of breath and I was trying to be like inspirational, like, oh, follow your dreams and push on and be brave. And that was where I was struggling because I was going like uphill a little bit and had already been going uphill. So I was so tired. My legs felt like jello at that point. So yeah. And I made it through that after a while. And then came up to like this little intersection and there's like a trail here, something over here. And I'm like, where do I go? There's no signs. I had a piece of paper. Only thing I had though printed out was like, take a left here, take a right here. Like, and it's like, here where? So I saw someone and they were going that way. So I said, just gotta go somewhere. They're going that way. They kind of been here before. I don't know what made me think that, but yeah, I just made that up in my head to feel better. And so it was the right way, thank goodness. And then I realized on the piece of paper, so when you cross this bridge, la la la, cross a little bridge. I'm like, oh, okay. So carried on. A couple people on that one. Then I got to another road and crossed over that, and there's a parking lot there. And there's people in the parking lot, and you can tell that that's probably an area that people get out and like walk around and whatever. And there's like a field. It's like a good place probably to throw a frisbee or something. But so there's some people out, and then I was walking. I'm like, okay, wait, gosh, I know I'm supposed to take a right at some point. It says take a right, and I'm looking for anything that goes to the right. Finally, I see a little tiny path going in the woods, and I'm like, I think I've walked enough. Probably that's got to be it. First one I came to, and it said that, so it's got to be it. So I go down there and did not see a soul down there either. And that one was probably a little unnerving, I guess, because I don't know. I don't know why. It just was. And I think that was actually the section that the most soldiers had fallen. I don't remember what they called it, blood something, or I can't remember. I'm pretty sure that was that section. So I got out of that one. I mean, I'm dead tired. I'm beat. Like at this point, like, I mean, come on, like 11 miles. I feel like I went like 15 at least. So, okay, get to another little mountain crossroad. And there's like this big open field, and there's like a couple people enjoying that. I'm walking, and then I walk again into like a forestry area, but it wasn't like as woodish. And at one point, I took a picture of this, but I'm not really sure you can really tell what I'm talking about unless I'm talking about it and have the picture sitting here, which is probably what I should have done right now. But it was a tree fallen on the ground. And at this particular time, there's like fall leaves, beautiful leaves, like orange and yellows, beautiful colors. And this tree was on the ground, like it was uprooted, It wasn't just like a limb, it was just completely down. But the tree still had all of its leaves and like colors. It looked like just the other standing trees. And at that moment, I took that picture. I thought, there we go. That's it. That's the real deal. That's the answer to life. Just because you fall down doesn't mean that you're not as beautiful or strong or successful or anything than the person who's still walking or still standing. You can still be all those things. You fell. And this tree fell, and but it was still very much alive. And I think in life we get so defeated when we break or we fall or something horrible, happens to us, and we feel defeated, we feel lost, we feel broken, but we're not. And that moment and those feelings and all that does not define who we are or our character. We're still beautiful. We're still the same person. Maybe a little lost or maybe need some patching up, but we're still the same person. Now, granted, the tree could not be replanted and grown, but we're not going to go there because that's not the case. Because, okay, but you get my theory, my thing. Okay, well, continued on. There's a little forestry area. That was forever. Like I felt like for real, like I walked a million miles. I'm exaggerating, but it took forever. Oof, and like I got to a point to where I'm exhausted. I'm tired. There's nobody around. Like, I haven't seen anyone in forever. I haven't even seen a squirrel. Like, I'm thinking, what did I walk into? Like, there's nothing alive out here. And I was so tired. I just wanted to sit down and just say, wait till someone come along and help me up. And I started getting a little worried because I thought maybe somehow that I got off route. I just wanted to get back to the parking lot where my car was, so that's where it's supposed to end. And I felt like it should have just been there like way before then. This has been, hours of walking the same. And I pressed on, prayed. um, you get so tired though after a while. It's like in the beginning, you're worried about, in my case, bees or something, which that wasn't the case then, but you still kind of, or heights in my case, or just animal, whatever is lurking behind the trees. So you can't see, but they can see you. But then when you get to a certain point of being exhausted, you get kind of careless. You get, I don't want to say more brave. You just don't give a dang. Like, all you can think about is how much your body hurts, how much your feet hurt. Maybe you're just getting out of there and that kind of thing. But you stop being cautious and you stop paying attention and using your sense of your like inner tuition, I guess, and you just stop using that. And that was one part that I realized in that moment. It was closer to the end when I realized that I had been careless for the last portion of that trail. And I thought, that there are dangers in the world, whether it's people or animals or just whatever, freak accidents. And, how I became kind of careless with that and stopped paying attention. And that kind of scared me because I'm like, you can't, in certain things that you do, you can't really anything but something like that, you can't just stop paying attention. You have to be aware. You have to always be aware, and not just of those kind of things, but where you're stepping, or so you don't trip and twist an ankle, and then you can't walk, and you're stuck out there with no one's there. So I realized too, I needed to make sure that didn't happen again. But either way, finally saw a sign said parking lot, and I'm like, thank goodness, I'm finally here, and got back and was fine. But sore, crap. But all in all, like it was a really, really awesome place. It was a nice trail. Um, mm, I don't know about well marked per se, but I mean, I never did get lost. I thought I was lost, but I actually never got lost. I never had a problem or an encounter with anything that made me uncomfortable. So it was fine, and most of what I feared was in my head. And I think it's fine to be cautious and stuff, but like don't make up stuff in your head and create danger or create things that aren't even there, because then that interferes with you actually enjoying it. So it's like a you have to have a balance of having some caution. I don't want to say fear, but respectfully have caution and be aware, but not so aware and too cautious or too scared to not enjoy it. So there has to be a balance there, and that was probably the trail that that's when I realized that was that aha moment for me for that. So, um, definitely well worth visiting. Did not regret going, and made a video on it with songs dedicated to my son. So it was really, really, it was nice. I would definitely recommend it, um, especially in the fall. I think that I could not have picked. I don't think it would have been near as beautiful in any other season. To be honest, maybe this summer would have been pretty, but I can't imagine it being more pretty than it was in the fall. That was a really nice, beautiful, beautiful leaves, beautiful trees. Everything was so pretty. So I loved it. Do it again and recommend it. And that was my trip to Kennesaw. So yeah, Angela out.